Here to discuss the rise of popularity in flag football, including right here in our local area, are Steve Allen and Juliet Allen from Fun Time Sports. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you on to talk about this because there was a great article from Eric Guzman in the Detroit Free Press recently telling the story of a young girl in Beverly Hills who goes to Birmingham Groves and worked so hard to try to get the Birmingham School District to incorporate flag football as a regular sport. And we know that they're not alone over there in the Birmingham schools in these efforts taking place. So in terms of popularity here in Greater West Bloomfield, where you hold a lot of camps and you hold a lot of leagues, just how popular has flag football become?
Flag football has definitely become really popular. I think, honestly, just getting kids out and, getting them out to play, making sure they get exercise, that's like the best part about flag football, having a team atmosphere, having kids cooperate and, finding out about the rules of the game, but also finding out, if they like it or not, and here at Fun Time Sports, we also have basketball. As you can see, we're at the basketball court today. We're about to do a basketball camp later on. We have T-ball. We have other sports programs that kids can get involved in. So if flag football isn't their deal, we can provide other sports for them as well. But flag football itself, I think it's exploded with especially the way that the Lions have come up this year. I think, that's been a big influence in the football world out here in Detroit.
Yeah, it's gaining a lot of popularity, not only in our local area, but across the world. It's going to be an Olympic sport in 4 years when the Olympics come to Los Angeles in 2028. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, announcing that back in October. So how are we kind of seeing that dynamic around the game of flag football change in our local area in terms of maybe turnout at your camps? I know you got one coming up very soon here in West Bloomfield.
Yeah, actually, we just had a Waterford camp. We had about 25 kids between the ages of 5 to 13 that came out for that camp. So that was exciting because, the more the merrier. I find when we got a lot of kids out there, we've got a lot of different skill levels. But because we are the type of organization that focuses on the basics first and kids having fun first, I think there's a lot of room for anybody to participate. So we've had kids that never played football before, and then we had kids that were just like John Madden All-Stars. Some of these kids were throwing the ball so good. We played this one drill where it's an accuracy thing where the kids have to hit a target. And I had some 12 and 13-year-olds throwing that ball like probably about 50 meters away and still hitting the targets. So, it's amazing. It's just a lot of fun.
And this is a game that engages young athletes. I know from my experience playing flag football that it helped me grow a love of the game of flag football, of team sports at a young age. And now particularly what the story has been lately is female athletes really pushing for flag football to be a sport regularly in the MHSAA, not just something that maybe we see in our high schools in the spring or in the fall when they're doing powder puff games coached by the varsity football players. So Juliet Allen is with us too, an assistant coach, and Steve's daughter on today's edition of The Splash with us from Fun Time Sports, who will be holding a camp for flag football at Drake Sports Park later on this month, July 22nd through the 26th. Juliet, from a woman's perspective, from a female athlete's perspective, what about this game do you believe is engaging more girls nowadays than ever before?
Well, honestly, I think that girls can do anything. We've all known this. We've known this forever. But I think that nowadays what's really getting girls involved with flag football is kind of the idea that we don't need to uphold to social norms anymore, or we never really had to. I think that girls can get down and dirty and play some flag football, and they love it. And I see it all the time. And I just love how the girls and the boys can have such a good dynamic together and just have a lot of fun.
One of the reasons I even started Fun Time Sports was because I was coaching Juliet, her sisters, when they were younger. And they used to play co-ed basketball and, they used to play co-ed soccer with all the boys. And that's one of the greatest things for me is just watching my daughters get out there and play sports and compete and really, they win. Like, this kid is a really good basketball player. She used to really get out there and score on the boys all the time. So I love seeing girls. One of my girls that actually plays basketball too, but she's a flag football player. I'm going to give a shout out, Izzy Noe out there. She's one of the most awesome athletes I've ever seen, and she is one of the best little quarterbacks I've ever seen. And, I feel like the more the merrier. Anytime that I see kids out there trying and doing their best at sports, just getting out and having fun, that's what it's all about.
And for kids too, and for parents especially, there's a little bit of a fear nowadays, knowing what we know from a medical standpoint about the game of tackle football, the effects it can have. Most of the kids that are going to be playing that game are not going to get a college scholarship, are not going to be playing in the NFL or another professional league down the line. And flag football is significantly safer because of the lesser contact. And so how does that maybe play into the rise of the popularity too, Steve?
I think it definitely plays into it because, it's a non-contact exercise, right? Like you're not getting, like you said, the impact that you would get from tackle football. So there's definitely less injuries, right? There's definitely less head injuries, which is a big thing, right? We don't want our kids getting concussions and things like that. But also what's amazing about it is getting kids out there and they're not just learning how to play football, right? They're learning how to sprint, right? They're learning how to throw, right? Because you can translate the throwing in football straight to the throwing in baseball, right? They're learning how to catch, right? That hand-eye coordination that goes into basketball as well as hockey and other sports like that, right? So just getting them out there and trying a different sport, especially flag football, will allow them to compete in other sports where they can use the same skills that they learned in flag football. So, I think it's amazing. And I really think having our kids in this community, in the West Bloomfield community, come out and play flag football is going to impact all the other sports, not just football.
Steve Allen is the owner of Fun Time Sports and joins us on The Splash alongside his daughter and Fun Time Sports assistant coach, Juliet Allen. Their upcoming flag football camp at Drake Sports Park kicks off on July 22nd. That's for kids 7 to 10 years old. And Juliet, your dad earlier on talked about the impact of these youth sports camps on your growing love for sports and how flag football played into that. So for parents that may be interested in getting their kid involved in an athletics camp this summer, why should they try flag football coming up in a couple weeks?
Okay, dear parents, I think that you should let your kid do flag football because let them be outside. With all the quarantine and all the COVID that we've been going through the past couple of years, kids need to be outside. They need to interact with others and they need to have that vitamin D. And flag football is such an amazing way to help your kids get their foot into sports without having such casualties and a lot of the injuries, like said earlier before. Flag football is a great introduction to sports, and I think everyone should try it.
One more thing for you, Juliet, and maybe another ode to some other people in our communities here. A spokesperson for the MHSAA, when approached about making flag football a regulated sport in the state of Michigan year in and year out, particularly for female athletes, that they need to gauge the proof of interest from high schools before they make that a sanctioned sport. What's your message to the MHSAA, to our local high schools and athletic departments about why flag football should be something on their regular athletics docket?
I think that from the recognition that the Powder Puff game already gets in all of the girls, I think that is enough. There's so many girls that sign up for Powder Puff, and there's so many people that are involved with the Powder Puff game, like the football team already, or the people that coach it, and the people that help train, and the football coaches that help the girls learn the tactics for flag football. I think that's proof. The proof is in the pudding right there. We should be definitely doing flag football for girls and boys.
Played by over 20 million people across the world, according to the National Football League. Flag football on the rise, an Olympic sport 4 years from today in 2028 in Los Angeles, and will be on the field at Drake Sports Park beginning on July 22nd. Steve, before we let you go, tell us lastly how people can sign up for your flag football camp in West Bloomfield.
You guys can sign up by going to wbparks.org, or you can just call West Bloomfield, ask for Mike. He's an awesome guy. He'll help you out. Or you can go to the Fun Time Sports website at funtimesports.org, and then just click on the West Bloomfield tab. That'll take you right over to the registration page.
Look for the red palm trees.
That's right, baby.
More information again on wbparks.org for all these camps coming up, including that flag football camp beginning July 22nd. Steve, Juliet, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. Please come out and play, guys. We want to have a lot of fun. The more, the merrier.